Hey everyone, welcome to Driven Life TV. Welcome to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Now, today we want to talk about something that has been on the rise for years now. So many females are actually affected by what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so what I want you to understand is there's been this message that has been preached by feminism for a long time. These women empowerment movements have actually put across a message of delay family, delay children, and make sure you chase your career, make sure you achieve academically. So many females have bought into it, but most of the times the loudest voice is not the most correct one. Okay, what you're saying is that there's so many females who are making choices that align with their goals that pertain to money or academic achievement or influence, but they're actually neglecting the issue of having a family and having children. But what if we have our priorities all mixed up? What if what we're prioritizing in our time is not what is most important? What if what we're doing now is chasing superficial things while we are letting go of what can bring meaning and significance? I want you to understand that sometimes what the culture celebrates may not be what God celebrates. Okay, so I want us to look at this other female who actually was faced with the same decision at a very pivotal point in her life. Okay, and so let's see what decision she made and why she made the decision she made. So let's listen to this, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Now, this one is for my ladies. Let's get into it. After I graduated with my master's, this woman that I used to work with, you know who, she pulled me aside. She said, "Sam, you're a pretty girl. When you gonna settle down and get married?" I laughed, and I said, "Probably after I get my LCSW." She looked at me dead in my eyes and said, "Shut the door." And so I did. She said, "Now look around, Sam. Look at the women my age. Look at the women who prioritize their career over family. And now they're lonely. All they have is their career, searching for meaning in vacations and brunches." And I saw it with my own eyes. It wasn't what I wanted for myself. She said what matters to her most now is her husband, her kids, and her grandbabies. That was her legacy. Y'all, and that changed everything for me. So I say all that to say this. Ladies, stop buying the lies of culture. Family is ministry. It's your first ministry. We weren't created to fight being helpmates. That's our divine purpose. We were created to walk in it with power. Don't lose yourself trying to chase a version of success that leaves you empty. God's way still works.
So that's her take on the matter. Someone will say, okay, what about those women who are not called to get married? Well, I think anyone can get married if they actually want to. Actually, God can bless you with the fruit of marriage if you desire it. I know some people who say there are some people who desire to get married, but they end up not finding anyone who is actually good for them. No, there's actually wisdom someone can use to actually end up having someone by their side. There are things that they can do actually. Okay. Now, it matters who you marry. It matters where you go to search for a partner. It matters how much wisdom you have as it pertains to the area of relationships on whether you can sustain that relationship or not. It matters. All those things matter. But I want you to understand that you need to look at your priorities in life and say, are these priorities the ones which are going to bring me the most meaning? Are these the things that God values above everything else? Have I tried to filter everything that I'm chasing through the lenses of what God has prepared for me? You need to have an honest conversation with yourself. Sometimes what we do is we go for the thing that people celebrate in our time. We go for the thing that actually will bring us the most money, and so it will give us so much recognition amongst our peers. And so we do things with that type of criterion in mind. But what if we didn't neglect the issue of family? So many people will tell you that it's fine and good to chase money around. It's fine and good to chase a career. It's fine and good to chase academic success. But what if you also prioritized having a family as you do that? Okay, I know when you want to have a family, there will be sacrifices that you have to make. But what if even those sacrifices are what add to the experience of meaning that I'm talking about? What if the fulfillment that you're seeking is actually in those sacrifices, those pursuit of those things that are hard, letting go of something so that you can have the legacy of having your own children into this world? If there is something that is so intrinsic to women, something that is embedded in their design, it's the issue of having children. It doesn't mean every woman can. It just means that every woman has the potential. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so if you have the potential, don't you want to explore it? How can you say I've achieved everything in my life when there's actually a womb in you that has not been explored? What happens is that if you don't prioritize this issue of family, you end up waiting too long. And so when you don't find a good partner, you begin to complain that maybe there are no good people anymore out there. Or maybe if you do find someone, you actually find faults with them because you have standards that are too lofty for anyone to meet. Okay. At the same time, sometimes if you don't find anyone, you end up going into a lifestyle of promiscuity. You just begin to compromise your values. You begin to settle for things like cohabitation or friends with benefits or things of that nature. You end up addicted, jumping from pub to pub. You end up forsaking your Christianity. Why? Now you're single. You still have desires though. You end up going for very questionable procedures like IVF, things that are not correct in the spirit of our faith as Christians. But we end up pursuing them. Why? Because we didn't do things at the right time. At the right time. Now, there's this message that has been given to women for a long time now to say you can have it all. You can't. No one can. There are sacrifices that need to be made. There are things that you have to prioritize, and some things will not be prioritized in the process. And so you have to make a choice. You have to think about these things critically. Don't play games with your relationships. Don't date casually. You don't have the time. That's what I want you to understand. If you're picking someone, make sure he's serious. Pick someone who shares your values and make sure you pursue something with them. It doesn't matter if you have not achieved everything you wanted to achieve. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Find a man and then make sure he's someone who can even support you in achieving those things when the time is right. But I want you to understand that maybe, just maybe, feminists fed us a lie. Maybe what we thought was empowerment was actually a huge sacrifice that we can never repay. Maybe our choices are going to cause us to regret in the long run. Anyways, that's what I think. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a good one.